Part 3. You will hear two students discussing a research proposal with their tutor. The project compares handwritten and typed lecture notes. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
I read your pilot study notes. Before we discuss the full project, tell me what went wrong in the first session.
The lecture extract was identical for everyone, and the comprehension questions were reasonably demanding. The main problem came during the break. We asked students to sit quietly, but several reviewed what they had written before taking the test.
That could have changed the outcome, because we wanted to measure what they retained from the lecture, not what they managed to revise in those few minutes.
Agreed. You need a controlled transition from lecture to test. Now, your proposal says that one group will type and another will write by hand. Luca, you question that arrangement?
Yes. Students differ a lot in prior knowledge and study habits. I would rather use a crossover design so every participant completes both conditions. That should reduce the effect of stable differences between people.
It is stronger statistically, but the second session could be influenced by the first. Someone may understand the research aim and alter their approach.
That is a genuine limitation. How will you deal with order effects?
We could vary which condition comes first.
Good. Counterbalancing is essential. I also want to challenge your current outcome measures. You plan to count the number of words and give an immediate comprehension test. What is missing?
Perhaps a delayed measure. If we test again the next day, we can see whether any difference persists beyond the first few minutes.
Exactly. An immediate score is useful, but delayed comprehension will strengthen the interpretation.
I still think word count matters. Typed notes are often longer, and that is part of the behavior we are comparing.
It matters as a descriptive measure, but I would be careful. A longer set of notes can include repetition or irrelevant detail. More words do not automatically mean better learning.
That distinction must be explicit. What, then, is your primary analysis?
For each participant, compare comprehension scores between the typed and handwritten conditions. The word count and survey responses can support the analysis, but they should not replace that comparison.
Before you hear the rest of Part 3, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
Let us settle the practical details. You need the two conditions to be comparable.
We should use the same recorded lecture for both. We can divide the recording into two sections of similar difficulty, rather than relying on live delivery, where small changes are unavoidable.
Fine. I would also keep a short usability survey. It will not be the main evidence, but it may explain why a participant performed badly in one condition, particularly if typing on the supplied laptop felt unfamiliar.
Keep it brief. Survey comments are secondary evidence, not a substitute for performance data. Now, as we discussed earlier, counterbalance the order of the conditions. Half the group should type first, and half should write by hand first.
I have another suggestion. Instead of coding only the number of words, we could identify links between concepts in the notes. A student who connects an example to the main argument may be processing the lecture more deeply than someone who copies isolated phrases.
That would make the coding slower, but it could produce a more meaningful measure.
Pilot the coding framework before using it at scale. Finally, add the follow-up test on the next day. Do not announce the exact questions in advance, and use items that test understanding rather than recognition of single terms.
We will revise the protocol and bring the amended version next week.
That is the end of Part 3. Now turn to Part 4.